Welcome back, everybody. Buckle in, gonna be 10 minutes. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, get us going, get this out to everybody. So I had something else happening. I'm not looking at the camera because I'm looking this way. I had something else in mind today. I was going to talk about NGOs. Then I was going to post a little video to help everybody explain or understand what an NGO is. Too many people check out because they don't get it. They don't understand. I can explain that whole thing in this amount of time that a third grader will understand. So I do plan on doing that in the future. It's important because if you have... as much as we're hearing about NGOs in the news in the last few days, it's important you know what that means. And if you haven't heard it in the news, then question where you're hearing things, because that's something that is very needed, and we'll touch that. But the White House Oversight Committee dropped a bomb right as I was coming back home from work, and it's like, we need to get on this because you guys need to know what's happening. Because we just talked yesterday about Reddit, didn't we?
We did indeed.
It's crazy.
Go watch that video if you haven't.
So, Chairman Comer of the Oversight Committee is the U.S. House has an oversight committee that if there's something that they need to oversee in America that is going to affect the people, they have the right to bring in people and ask questions. That's the Oversight Committee. And remember, the Senate, I'm going to just jump little things in there to help educate you, just in case you don't know. The Senate deals more with state things. The House deals more on the people things. So that's why it's called the People's House. That's where we're going to see this oversight. So he has called for the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit to testify on the radicalization of online forum users.
We just talked about this.
Did we
literally just put a video up.
Yesterday!
I put the video up less than 24 hours ago. It went up about 5 o'clock this morning, maybe a little bit before or after.
If this doesn't tell you that God is directing what this mic that we're saying that will take time every day, the editing she has to do is insane. And we decided every day, because Charlie's voice is gone now, we're going to do a little bit of something for you. I don't have a clock for 10 minutes.
It's 7:11 right now.
Okay.
The clock is right there.
So today, House Oversight, and this is going to go up on the screen. You're going to be able to read along. House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman James Comer invited the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit to testify at a full committee hearing on October 8th, day before my birthday.
Heck yeah.
One day before I was supposed to see Charlie Kirk at UND for my birthday.
Such a sad disgrace.
So,
man.
you know what? This kind of feels like a little justification for me. This feels like a little bit of somebody's going to answer for something here. The hearing will examine the radicalization of online forum users, including instances of open incitement to commit politically motivated acts.
Yep.
This is happening, and it's happening on October 8th. And I need you all engaged. I need you to get this information out to everybody.
Share it.
This is what we need. You guys need to be understanding is happening. How many people? Do you think the news is going to tell you about this? No.
Nope.
But the people, when the people get behind something and say, I want this, then this happens. The politically motivated assassination of Charlie Kirk claimed the life of a husband, father, and American patriot. In the wake of this tragedy and amid other acts of politically motivated violence, Congress has a duty to oversee the online platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence. To prevent future radicalization and violence, the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit must appear before the Oversight Committee and explain what actions they are taking to I had to slip over, to ensure that platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes, said Chairman Comer. So the number one that I've been immersing myself in today for something else was Reddit, and trying to get a grip for myself of what's out there. So on Reddit, for the most part, socialist, anarchist, anti-fascist, and degenerate, we'll call it prawn because we can't call it anything else. So what's been happening, I listened to a gentleman that has been putting together, he's an investigative journalist that's been working for a year in putting together the network of NGOs, which is why I learned a little bit about Reddit today. He said that there's a subgroup just under anarchists or anarchy of 300,000 subs there. And so he said that there are resource links on the side when you type in what is an anarchist. Then there's a tab on the side that has resource links, and it says frequently asked questions. It has an anarchist library, and then this one is the one that freaked me out, Miranda.
Boy.
It had 2 onion links. What's an onion? I haven't researched that yet.
Let's find out.
Tell me. Oh, there you go. You find out. Tell me what you know about it in the comments below. So there were 2 onion links to the dark web, Miranda.
It says onion links are addresses for websites, also called onion services, that are only accessible through the Tor, T-O-R, network, and use onion routing for anonymity and secure communication.
Oh, cool.
The onion refers to the layered encryption used to obscure the user's identity and location, similar to peeling layers off an onion, with each onion router in the Tor network decrypting a layer of the message to reveal the next step in the communication path. And you can go find that yourself. I literally just pulled up Google and said, what is an onion link? And this is the first little snippet that the AI overview gives you. So
there were 2 onion links that were right there in the resource, on the resource side. And one was called Rise Up. This is under anarchist, remember? Or anarchy. Rise Up was one, Rattle was the other, and both of them are links to the dark web. You can link to the dark web now.
Which is crazy because it used to be a thing where you had to getting on the dark web
About
was not
soul
easy.
your soul to get onto the dark web.
Not the regular person couldn't just find the dark web.
No.
And here's a little tidbit that you might not even know. Back in the day, I don't remember how old I was. I tried finding the dark web. And, of course, was unsuccessful, gratefully, honestly. I was probably,
brother.
I don't know, 18
What did
to
you
early
want to
20s.
go on there for?
People were talking about the dark web and all the crazy stuff that was on it and, the things that people were selling on it. I think I watched a documentary of where they were selling, mystery crates, and people would buy them and open them, and, some people were, getting bodies and stuff. So I wanted to go see if it was real. That was why I went to look for it. I didn't want to buy one.
Yeah, just like this. Can I sell my soul to the devil?
Yeah, but
on Roblox.
That was the naive, stupid, uneducated me.
So imagine if at that time you had a Reddit that you could click to the dark link. You would have.
I would have found it. Yeah.
That's out there, and this freaks me out.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. So every place that young people learn their cultural values now have been captured by the left. And when I say the left, I mean socialist, Marxist, communist ideologies. that have a
not traditional liberalism.
that have a purpose
or
behind
Democrats, I
them,
guess.
and the purpose is to destroy your kids, plain and simple. So he was talking also about how after somebody's been radicalized and they need to be able to join some crazy radical group, they are able to assemble on Reddit. And that's how they're being able to do this. And again, this guy has all the receipts. He has a 100,000 page thing that he's been working on for a year that
See, 100,000 pages?
100,000 pages. But that also goes along with the NGOs, because he's got all the receipts
So for
on
those that
George
don't know,
Soros to be able to get a RICO. And
what
that's what I
does-
was going to talk
yeah,
about today.
What does NGO
but that'll be
stand for?
tomorrow. What's that?
I said, for those that don't know, what does NGO stand for?
Non-governmental organization.
And in what way would we use these?
Or
In what way do they exist, I guess?
what they used to be used for were good things. In communities, when I actually was an executive director of an NGO, FYI, just so you understand.
Back in the day.
So that non-governmental organization received a grant, and when you get that grant, you work off of that grant. I worked off a grant. I had to be accountable to my grantor,
Yep.
the place that I was the grantee, and
You had to account for every dollar spent.
every
like,
penny
to the
cent,
cent.
every penny cent.
It was wild.
That's not the way it is anymore. My non-governmental organization was faith-based, and we got the grant through Catholic Health Initiatives, which it was a great grant, $365,000, I believe, for 3 years. So they wanted to fill in the cracks for the underprivileged or seniors in communities, and then to branch out. So we ended up branching out into 4 communities.
And facilitated with volunteers to help.
Correct. So I was able to organize. I fundraised, I organized, and assembled groups of volunteers to help the vulnerable, whether they were poverty or elderly. So there was a lot of good that happened with NGOs. That has since changed. That the radicalization that's happened, that's been taken over as well. So they say they're going to do something, they get a bunch of money, and that from the federal government, and then it only lines the pockets of them and their friends, and they never do it. There was a case with the PPP loans, which went through NGOs to feed children in Minnesota during 2021 COVID. And they said that they had given over 1 million meals to however many children. I'll get that information as well and pop it in there. They did none of that.
Of course they didn't.
It was just a Somali ripoff scheme that thankfully, and I don't need to say allegedly for that, because they have been tried, they have been convicted, and they are in prison now.
Yep.
So that's not an alleged thing. That really happened. So those non-governmental organizations get money, like the Armed Queers, SLC, is
Talked about those yesterday as well.
is a non-governmental organization that got that money, where they were allowed, they then were able to send their leadership to Cuba to learn how to overthrow capitalism in America. And we paid for it, the
Yep.
taxpayers.
Your
So,
taxpayer dollars, everybody.
in 2023, how much money do you think was given out to NGOs?
Oh gosh.
It'd be $300 billion to approximately
I was going to say $1 billion.
No, $300 billion
$300 billion. I can't even conceptualize that amount of money.
given to 100,000 organizations across America.
Wow.
these are the organizations that are, remember when you would see the mostly peaceful protests happening, and they're not
Burning cities down,
Yeah.
mostly peaceful. Okay.
mostly peaceful but fiery
Yeah.
protests.
Yeah. Well, they're outraged. What do you expect? That's what we were told.
All
We're
those,
outraged about Charlie Kirk. Do you see any buildings burning? No, you don't.
all the signs,
And that's why we're not the same.
all the signs that magically appeared for everybody when they were taking over university libraries, vandalizing the crap out of it.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they had water that had been there were cases and cases and cases and cases of water. Food delivered. There were gajillions of pizzas delivered as they barricaded themselves. I believe it was in Columbia University, and they just destroyed the library and where they were. So all of that funding for all of the and bricks when they're at protests that they need to throw.
Yeah.
We found pictures. We saw pictures of pallets of bricks
Being
that were
supplied.
dropped off. They were being supplied. So you have all of these supplies that just appear, and of course the protests
Up here.
are busing people in, and they're paying them per day, and we can see that they're doing that on Craigslist.
And it's no different than the North Dakota Access Pipeline.
Yeah, because both of us were in corrections at that time. She was in one county, I was in the other. Both of us were booking in protesters that were the
Oof, that was
water protectors.
Yeah.
And do you know how many of the protesters that I booked in were from North Dakota?
Where's the camera? There we go.
None. Her none, me none. All of mine
They're
were out
being
of
paid.
all mine were all of
bust to
Colorado.
to pay, and you got paid more if you camped.
And
You can protest, but you get paid more if you actually set up a tent and protested and stayed overnight.
you also got extra pay if you ended up jailed.
Yep, and
Every-
they'll pay for your bail.
Everybody had the same lawyer phone number to call, and they told us whether or not I believe them at
Yeah.
how much it was per hour. One of them did tell me. I said, just tell me you're getting paid. Just tell me, because
And this was so
you
long
all,
ago, and
you
it's
all
still going
don't
on.
just come from Colorado because you want to protect North Dakota water. You're getting paid, because these were all, they were, one guy, for his booking picture, when I took his booking picture and I said, stop, put your hands down. He refused to put his hands down. This was a joke to him. This was just a summer fun thing.
Yep.
Hey, let's go to North Dakota
And you get paid
and
for
be
it.
water protectors.
Yep.
Right. I would ask them, what are you protecting? What encouraged you to come here?
No answer.
Ridiculous. One of them did say, yep, we are getting paid $18 an hour for the amount of time that we're here. I said, so whether you're sleeping or awake? Well, yeah, because we're here. So it's $18 an hour for 24 hours a day.
Yep.
For if you're here for 30 days, you get paid $18 an hour for 24-hour days.
That's
for
more than
30?
most of the American people make now on
Okay.
a real paycheck.
Who paid for that? NGOs did. Where'd the NGOs get their money?
The
Us,
government.
the taxpayers. So the taxpayers are paying for the jails to jail them, paying for them to come here, and it just continues. So when you hear about NGOs and what President Trump's trying to do for accountability with NGOs and start getting a lock on it, that's why.
Yeah.
That's what we were going to talk about today.
Well, now we've talked about it, so
Yeah, there's a lot
you get
more
a
to
double
that.
topic now.
Right. So we're going to end, because I said 10 minutes and I think we're probably at 15.
We are.
We're going to end now, but I'm going to end with just
We're actually at 19:30.
my 2 cents on these flipping text messages. And I do want to hear about this in the comments.
I don't believe it for a second.
Thank you. Neither do I. It is scripted. There is nobody that's on the run that's,
No.
I'm doing this for you, my love. And then what does he what does the roommate, the dude dressing up like a chick, what does he say? Well, how long have you been planning this?
Yeah.
Who asks that? So then Vinny asked ChatGPT, so what do you think about this?
Okay, for the people that don't know, who is Vinny?
Vinny is on PBD podcast.
And who is PBD?
Patrick Bet David.
There we go. So PBD,
So-
Patrick Bet David, and you're talking about a guy named Vinny.
Yeah, so Vinny asked ChatGPT. So what are your thoughts on this whole text exchange? And he broke it down of what text exchange. ChatGPT comes back and says they don't believe it. It reads like a movie script, he said.
It's the stupidest
And
thing
it's
I've
like,
ever read.
What? And then it went into detail, absolute
Yeah.
detail on how they came to
Who does that?
how they came to the assumption that this is not believable. So
Here-
you know what?
here's-
I'm just gonna say I don't believe
I don't believe
that.
it either.
I
But
don't
this
believe
is
it.
what I want to say about this. I read it this morning before I went to bed because I was up late editing. I was reading it while my videos were finishing saving, and it made zero sense to me why somebody would outline exactly what they had done, where things were, where they were, and all this crap, like unsolicited too. That's the other thing. It's like it's
Exactly.
completely unsolicited. Like nobody asked this guy, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" or "Where are you?" or nothing. It was completely unsolicited. And so he's telling his lover or whatever.
And if my love loved him so much, if my husband, if my, let's just say not husband, if my live-in boyfriend that
Which you
I
don't
loved,
have, we're
that
just
I
hypothetically.
loved, yeah, hypothetically, texted me that he just did that, my reply would certainly not be in any realm of that. It's like,
No.
what the are you doing?
I would've called the cops.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? What you're hiding right now? What did you do?
It's horrible. It's horrible. The fact that the responses were so like chill about it is
I was gonna say
insane.
there was
They're
just
just
no
like,
angst
"Oh,
whatsoever.
Oh, you
No
killed
angst.
someone?
No
And you're
angst
just
on
like,
either part.
It's fine. Like, what does that even mean? How is that even your response? That is no normal person's response to finding out information like that. Not
Nope,
one.
Nope.
Well, I will say the caveat to that is unless they are also as equally brainwashed as the person that was supposedly pulled
Yeah, but
the
still
trigger.
they're not gonna stay that chill.
I really don't think you would. I just want to put that out there that if you are that cooked in the head, potentially the person you're with is also that cooked in the head. Maybe there's some way that or maybe they're on some sort of medication, because most of them are, that makes their emotions suppressed. So that is a caveat, I will say, but the likelihood of that being your reaction when the person that you're meant to be dating or like with tells you that they just killed someone.
So that's all sus to me.
It's
There's so
crap.
much
It's
more
crap.
there. So talk about that in the comments. I want to hear what
Yes.
you have to say. And then I did think of one more thing that you probably haven't heard yet. Luigi Mangione. Do you remember that name?
They said that there's new pictures of him today for something. I didn't look into it,
Well,
but
the pictures are from him coming to court.
is there like a fangirl club for him? Is that what I meant to
Huge,
understand?
and they wear their little green Luigi hats because they all support Luigi Mangione, which, do you remember what he did?
I don't. I was just going to say, I
So,
don't even know anything about this guy.
The CEO from Minnesota, from a huge insurance company.
He's the one that did the insurance
he
CEO or whatever.
He decided
and-
he just needed to take him out because he was a big evil insurance guy.
Okay.
So he shot him in the back when he was at a conference.
What a coward.
And exactly. So today he was in court about his sentencing or his charges, and his first degree murder charges were dropped.
I did see that.
Dropped. It didn't meet. So you can you can drive to another state and have a gun made of 3D printed everything, and then seek out this guy, shoot him in the back, and then get out of there. But there's no premeditation in that at all. That's not first degree. We don't have a judicial system in
Where
some
is he
of
being
our
tried?
states. New York.
Well, that about sums it up.
So
No hate to New York at all, but
just gonna put that in your pipe so you can smoke
Yeah.
it too. Talk to me about that in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to see your comments on all this shenanigans.
And we're gonna wrap it up.
Well, the last thing that I was going to say is you talked about the destruction and defacing of things, and
Did you see that Chapel Hill girl with the paint?
that's exactly
painting
what I was
over
going
the
to talk
rock
about.
with her hands?
There was a
Oh.
tribute rock painted. What university was it? Do you remember?
University of North Carolina,
There we
Chapel
go.
Hill.
It was that. This was the university that they were at, and this rock apparently has been something on the campus that people paint in commemoration of things.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, when the whole George Floyd thing was happening,
They had-
it was painted for George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that this whole everything happened with Charlie Kirk and the assassination of him, students on campus painted this rock specifically for things like this for Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
And they had a beautiful American flag base, and then they had a quote from Charlie as well as Charlie Kirk and his born and death dates, and then on the side they had a picture, like a portrait of Charlie on it, and it was to remember Charlie, and it was a beautiful painting. The students did amazing, and then other students chose to go get
One girl.
Yeah, well, it was more than one.
Well, the boy came in with that
yeah.
dabber.
I
but
mean,
she was using her hands.
It wasn't just a one-person thing. Like, there were more than
Mm-hmm.
one person doing it, because the students who painted it were actually out there and were trying to get them
That's
to stop.
so sick.
And they actually left because they were afraid for their safety because of these people.
The
That were,
country we live
and
in.
not only that, they weren't just painting it. They were painting it the colors of the trans flag. So the light
Yep.
sky blue and the pink and white.
Take the paintbrush out of her hand.
Yeah, tell me.
Take the paintbrush out of her hand. Do not. Hey! Hey, no.
Yeah, someone call UPD.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, they're coming.
Hey, everyone back away.
I don't know what she gave us.
Now.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Take away the paintbrush.
That's sick to me.
They've been radicalized. I'm glad that
Why
on
are we
October
why
8th,
are we memorializing the trans flag? That's what the rock is
because
for.
they've all been hypnotized and they've all been radicalized and they all gather on Reddit or Twitch
Sick.
and they decide that
And they
they're-
really think they're doing something. They
Yep,
really
they
do.
They do.
And it's
and until
sad, but it's also
until-
angering.
Until Congress steps in and does more than just oversight, once oversight happens, there better be something that comes after that. Because this isn't going to end on its own.
No.
It never does. This doesn't end
We need
on its
a lot
own.
of a lot of stuff to happen to fix this.
So this is a step. This is a start. If you're a praying person, be praying.
And if you're not,
Engage.
read the Bible. If you're
Yes.
not, you should pick up a Bible and read it. Even if it's just for fun and
Yeah.
you think it's just a book of fiction, at least read it and see what you think.
Engage, because we all need to carry this torch.
Yep,
We all do. We're doing our part, and we want you all to do your
we
part.
do indeed.
I think that's a good ending.
I do too.
See you tomorrow.
See you later. God bless.